1 in 9 men are going to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. But for African American men, that number is 1 in 7 and is more deadly.
Last year, longtime weatherman Al Roker shared his prostate cancer diagnosis publicly to raise awareness, especially for Black men. Prostate cancer develops when the prostate gland becomes cancerous and the cancer cells multiply and spread throughout the body. Since Roker's diagnosis, a new 2021 study from the American Urological Association found prostate cancer is affecting more Black men than previously thought, now affecting 1 in every 6 Black men.
When he said that African American men are more likely to get it and more likely to die from it because they find out in the later stages, he got my attention.
68-year-old Michael Haynes is an NFL Hall of Famer after playing 14 years for the New England Patriots and Los Angeles Raiders during the 70s and 80s. However, in 2008, at age 55, his life took a different turn when his doctor told him he had prostate cancer.
Thinking I'm not going to be around. I don't want people feeling sympathy for me. I just don't want to go out that way. But then later, the more I got educated about it, and the doctors did say, hey, the good news is you're finding out in the early stages.
Luckily for Haynes, his cancer diagnosis was caught in the early stages, meaning his was treatable. 13 years later, he says he feels great. He's turning his prostate cancer journey into a lifelong mission to spread awareness and encourage other men to get tested early.
You want to do the different tests that you have to take to, and when the doctor, talks to you about it, try to learn as much as you can.
But convincing men to open up about their health is not always easy.
In general, don't usually like to talk about their health. You have a couple of women get together, they'll be happy to discuss their breast health or their menopause or what have you. But when it comes to men, we're pretty quiet about it.
Dr. Ronald Anglade is a urologist and calls prostate cancer a silent cancer because men don't often know they have it until symptoms develop, which can include trouble urinating, erectile dysfunction, or blood in the urine. Dr. Anglade recommends regular prostate cancer screenings.
Called the PSA, it's prostate-specific antigen test. And PSA is not a prostate cancer test per se, right? You do a PSA, it doesn't mean that if it's elevated or what have you or normal that you have prostate cancer. It's just a tool that we can use to help us decide whether or not further testing is necessary.
But why are African American men at higher risk for prostate cancer? Dr. Anglade says genetics play a role, but family history alone doesn't answer the question fully. Reggie Tucker Seeley is the Vice President of Health Equity for the nonprofit organization Zero, the End of Prostate Cancer. He points to a long history of racial health disparities, including access to quality health care.
Those social resources are racially patterned. And so given that they're racially patterned, African Americans are probably going to be likely to have fewer of those resources. So thinking about those resources in terms of things like financial resources, things like social connections, access to care.
Tucker Seeley says since the COVID-19 pandemic exposed broader health disparities, more people in healthcare and government are taking a closer look at the issue, which offers signs of hope.
Is that hopefully now we can garner a lot more support to focus on solutions. That is, how do we start to address the reasons that Black and brown people sort of across the prostate cancer continuum have poorer outcomes compared to their white counterparts.
As healthcare advocates work to address health disparities for prostate cancer survivors like Al Roker and Michael Haynes, they are using their platforms to encourage more Black men to be proactive about their prostate health.
I'm glad that I get a chance to talk to guys about it. And I hope that other, athletes and actors and musicians and people like that who are also impacted by this disease, that they'll do the same.
Reporting for Atlanta Black Star, I'm Cavante Smalls.